We are not members of the LGBTQ plus community. We approach this podcast as learners, not experts. Our intent is to educate ourselves and engage thoughtfully, not to exploit or speak on behalf of others. The opinions shared are our own and may not reflect everyone's experiences. We welcome feedback and invite correction so we can continue to grow and be better allies. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our penultimate episode on season 1. We still have a review episode to go, just as a quick reminder, but the grand finale. This is actually episode 8 if you're following with us in the season, but for us, this is episode 7. We are here to finally get to see who wins RuPaul's Drag Race season 1. I'm very excited about this. Just as a reminder, I'm Kevin. This is Dax. I am a bit of a RuPaul's Drag Race vet. I am a big fan of the show and have seen almost every season. I actually hadn't watched this season. I haven't seen the second or third seasons. Realize that. I think I've been saying I haven't seen the first 2 seasons and been lying the whole season. I actually also haven't seen the third season. I think I started on like season 4 and went up. So we got 3 seasons that we're going to kind of watch together. So I, as a Drag Race veteran, am taking my friend Dax, who doesn't know anything about drag. He has a musical theater background, but that's about as close to it as he gets. And we are watching through RuPaul's Drag Race together. And here we are about to finish the first season and talk about everything that we've seen so far and the ultimate winner. So very excited to get into it and ready to dive in. Dax, anything you want to cover before we jump into the episode?
Wow, that was such a wonderful intro, man. I don't really know if there's anything left for me to cover. Like you said, I don't know shit about this. Happy that we're finally at the final episode. I don't know if I'm happy because the season is over, even though I know that there's more seasons to watch, or if I'm happy for any other reason. I don't know. Whatever other reason there may be. I think right now the consensus is I'm happy that this train wreck of a season has been over, because it has been an absolute train wreck in a lot of ways.
It has been. As a fan of the show, this one was definitely rough at times to watch. I think everybody kind of recognizes that for some of the earlier seasons. I don't think we're offending anybody. This definitely isn't a hot take, at least from what I've seen.
Listen, I didn't say it was a freak show. I said it was a train wreck, right? Freak show would have had a completely different connotation. Not that.
Very
train wreck, absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of rough times, and a contestant that has made it a bit farther than they should have, and we'll definitely get into that as this episode goes on. If you've been watching, you know who we're talking about.
Shit.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump into the show. We are here at the grand finale. For one final time, I guess, we can take a look at the individual queens that performed this season from left to right. We have Miss Tammy Brown, who was Dax's favorite while she was on the show.
Absolutely.
And eliminated early on episode 2, unfortunately. Jade, who is stunning in this photo, was stunning in the season, also eliminated in episode 4. We have Nina Flowers, who's still around here in the finale. Good job, Nina. We love you. Next to Nina, we have Victoria Porkchop Parker, Dax's close second favorite of the series, who very famously is eliminated in episode 1, the first queen to ever be eliminated.
Pork chopped.
Pork chopped. Yeah. Dax already learning the lingo. He's got a glossary, and I do. We're going to continue to teach Dax some things about the culture as we go.
Glossary.
Next to Miss Parker, we have Bibi Zahara Benet, dead center, as she should be, also still around. Probably no surprise to anybody who's been watching the season. Next to Bibi, we have Akasha, who was eliminated on episode 3. Chanel, one of my personal favorites, eliminated on episode 6, made it pretty far. Good job, Chanel. Angina, eliminated episode 5, also a strong contender, a strong contestant. And then finally, Rebecca Glasscock, all the way on the far right, looking like a plastic doll, who is also still around in the finale.
And if you've been around this long, you know she has about the brains of a plastic doll.
Yeah, the brains and the performing talent of a plastic doll.
Indeed. And in case anyone hasn't realized yet, all of those people up there are, in fact, dudes.
Yeah, those are all gay men.
Those are all men, indeed.
Yeah, all gay men dressed in drag. If we have anybody watching who isn't already a Drag Race fan or knows about drag queens, I'm sure it has been and will continue to be interesting for you. But yes, all men, all dressed as women here for Drag Race.
Mm-hmm. And if you're on the grand finale episode, you haven't watched the first episode, go back to the first episode. Watch episodes 1 through 6, is it for us? And then watch this episode. For us. Yeah, do that.
Yeah. We do talk a lot. I try to include visuals where possible of stuff. So if you don't want to watch the season with us, you should at least have some clue of what we're talking about. I do recommend, though, going back and actually watching the show as well, and kind of watch it with us. You can learn and experience all the joy alongside both of us. All right. This has been an interesting season. We have seen a lot of different queens, right? Especially this gambit right here. We've seen varying levels of professionality, of maturity. It's all been, I'll say, eye-opening for, the first season, probably maybe more so for you as you've learned sort of the behind the scenes of this style of performance and everything that goes into it.
Oh, my eyes have been opened. My eyes have been opened, and I've seen a lot more than I thought I would ever see, to be honest.
Probably a lot more. Yeah. Learn a lot of the quote unquote trade secrets. As we learn a lot about these drag queens. And before we dive into this episode specifically, I do want to ask for a little bit of a recap from your point of view. Like, what do you feel like you've learned since episode 1, right? Because that was, for us, it's been about a few weeks now. It's been a couple of months, actually, since we started watching this. We try to do an episode a week. We have, life and other things happen where we have periodic breaks, and so I think it's equated to a little over 2 months, or just at the 2-month mark, somewhere around there, that we've been watching this. So in this time, what has that been like for you, from that very first episode and that intro to the thumbnail with Tammy Brown, all the way to now, and like knowing who the ultimate winner is and kind of seeing how everybody progressed?
That is an interesting question that I'm not sure I'm wholly prepared for. But let me try to gather myself and think of the things that I have learned so far. Tucking panties.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess I have an opinion about clothes now. Never thought that would be a thing.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And heels are up in there. Makeup also as well too, and maybe even like hair,
heels, and makeup.
Yeah.
You know what, that kind of sums it up. That should be our synopsis for the season when we post this on YouTube. Just
hair, heels, and makeup.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of keywords kind of smashed together.
Yeah, exactly. Well, don't worry, you don't have to get too detailed in that. We do have a reunion episode to watch and review, so that will remind us of kind of specific events, and we'll have a little bit of a more detailed look back, I think, for that recording, but I have been curious
Okay,
what
well,
it's
like,
been
hold
like
on,
for
dude. Why do you sound like you're reading from a fucking script and I wasn't given the other half? Okay, you were so
you.
prepared and I'm so ill prepared. This doesn't feel right. And now I'm
That's fair.
pissed.
That's fair. Notes for me, I guess. Next time, give you give you a heads up on what I'm going to ask you.
Hey, man, just give me the answers. Just give me all the
It's just a
answers that you
cold
want me to
open.
say. I don't know what to say in
Yeah.
this moment. Hair,
Look, this
heels,
is
and
a
makeup is what
gotcha
you got.
interview. This is a gotcha interview. Okay, we're about to jump into old tweets.
Oh,
Get ready.
wonderful. Great. I'm excited. Do I
Yes.
get some
So in
wings with some
2007,
crazy hot sauces on it while we're at it?
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Those are on delivery. Um, yeah, good. Yeah, sorry to catch you a little bit off guard with that. I'm personally very curious about it, but we do have a whole reunion episode, so I'm also jumping the gun a little bit. We can go back through moment by moment. We'll sort of talk about it. We'll hopefully be able to get some visuals up for the individual things that happen, because there was a lot that went down this season, right? From Victoria eating beans on stage
Was it beans?
to yeah, something seeds, I don't know,
Eating
little
something.
maybe dirt, even maybe like a fancy dirt or potting soil,
Yeah,
don't
grub
know.
worms. I'm not sure.
Yeah, all the way from that to finding out Angina has AIDS on
Mm.
on stage, right? So some big moments, some big things to talk through, I think, for sure. But
I've
we'll save
also
all that for the reunion.
I've
Oh,
also
go
learned
ahead.
that evidently we've been doing this for 2 months and all I have are nouns to give you as things I've learned. So that in its own way has made me learn that maybe I'm a slow learner. I don't know. We've been doing this a long time for me to have just learned a few nouns. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, true. You just said objects and
I
things,
did.
things that exist. Yeah. Yeah, too funny. But okay, you'll have a redemption in the reunion, a chance to redeem yourself and be maybe a little bit more descriptive on how things have
I'll be more than a glossary next time, I swear. I'll do
been.
some
Yeah.
studying.
So it's been a ride. It's been a bit of a ride. I think relatively early on, Dax, you kind of landed on a favorite, and have been sort of team Bibi Zahara Benet since honestly since episode 4 or something. I feel like
Yeah,
Bibi's really stood out to you.
once I got like over having to be super fishy to be impressive, and I
Yeah,
kind of learned more about because it took us a while to even get into personalities here, and I
it
have
did.
a respect for professionalism, especially in the entertainment industry. And once I really got to learn more about BB's professionalism, that's when I was sold.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the season kind of has a little bit of a journey with that, where even in this final or finale episode, uh, the judges still talk about, that quote unquote fishiness, who looks the most like a woman, who looks the most beautiful,
Hmm.
as being still a pretty integral part of the show. Anybody who is a Drag Race fan knows that, those metrics do kind of change as the show goes on. And the judges maybe care less about imitating a woman and more about kind of some of that professionalism, the ability to perform, and the take on it as an artist in general. So it has been interesting to kind of go back. It's almost like going back and watching some of the early seasons of America's Next Top Model or other competition shows where you're just like, I don't know that this ages all that well.
Oh, there's plenty of that. There's plenty of those moments where this
Hmm.
is very obviously caught in the time period that it's caught in. Even in this episode, like I wrote some things where it's just like there's a lot of reality TV, just like interest slop in here.
Yeah, there definitely is. So let's get into it. Without further ado, I'll stop distracting us with other questions. Let's dive into this episode. So when we start, the queens walk into a now empty workroom and just have kind of general talking heads. They start off kind of joking and poking fun at Nina for never being in the bottom, which is impressive in season 1. We have somebody who never made it to the bottom 2. And all three of the queens talk about how much they want to win. I have a note here. Most of this is just kind of general end of season stuff, nothing super important. But then Rebecca gets on kind of near the end of this segment to talk about how much she wants to win, and basically just says, "Well, I've come this far, so why would I leave?" Like,
Yeah, I've made it this
that's
far. There's no reason for me to lose, right?
yeah. Like, okay, so you really want this? It's important to you,
It
right?
just
Or
it
you're just here, so.
It's just the attitude kind of felt like I've been
Hmm.
handed this the whole time, and I expect to continue to be handed this. Um,
Yeah,
and that was really weird to me. It had like a strange vibe going into this episode where, like, one, I really didn't want her here to begin with. And
yep,
two, I'm really hoping that by the grace of whatever deity you may believe in, that Rebecca is here by mistake and the judges come to their senses and choose Bibi as the rightful right uh winner. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word winner, but the rightful one at that.
yeah. I think the conversation is 100% between Bibi and Nina. Like, I'm with you. I don't know why Rebecca's still here, and I think this is a good intro and kind of sets up, in my opinion, it sets up the kind of stark difference between Bibi and Nina as performers and professionals versus Rebecca, right? Like, we're kicking it off right at the start of the episode with Rebecca having just I don't know if I would say ungrateful, but I feel like it's borderlining ungrateful and immature attitude about the whole thing. Like,
I think they call that
just a general
entitled.
lack of respect. There you go. Entitled.
Very entitled.
That is exactly it. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but now that you've said it, I think it's nail on the head. That's the perfect description of how Rebecca's energy is just radiating entitlement through this entire episode.
And we're being served like a highly edited version of what went down and
True, very true.
have been continually. But it's really interesting how, in almost a stark contrast to the previous episodes, this episode, I don't think I'm giving anything away. Just kind of the whole time read Rebecca for slop. Just like this is
Mm-hmm.
you finally get to see the true Rebecca. We have to justify to you now, after 6 episodes of bullshit, why Rebecca shouldn't win this.
Yeah, and it almost makes you feel like the editing team is kind of on your side as a viewer, where the editing team's like, we're not going to do Rebecca any favors.
No
Like,
favors, zero.
we're gonna cut this to really try to reveal it as much as possible. And there have been queens talking about this since early in the season. Early,
Yes,
right?
before
There's a
before
whole
Jade even
spat.
got kicked off. What was that like?
Yeah,
Or I think it was even, was it episode 2 where Rebecca was in the bottom with someone else and made it through, and everyone was like, "Ooh, I don't really like the way Rebecca does her things," or whatever it might be.
maybe it was definitely an early season. Jade going home, because I think it was Jade and Rebecca both in the bottom two
You're
when
right. You're
Jade
right.
went
Battle of
home.
the Fish
Yeah,
callback.
and Jade, I feel like Jade performed better in the lip sync, performed better in the episode, and everything, and still got through. And that was like the first time it really kind of dinged to me that I was like, there appears to be some favoritism happening. It was a little subtle earlier than that, by I think that's episode 4 when Jade goes home. It's pretty clear that Rebecca is getting some favoritism.
It was almost like there was a directive to have like 3 very different queens by the end of everything, and they had to keep Rebecca around. It's almost, wow, I'm not going to say that.
Don't. I know where you're going with that. You don't say
We don't
not in
say that.
today's climate.
We don't say
We
that in
don't say that.
2025. All right,
We don't say that.
let's roll that back. But listen, it was 2008, and they had to have a certain mix of people make it to the end, and they ensured that that mix of people stayed around throughout the show.
Yeah, which it does feel like that, but we had an opportunity for Chanel to end up in this top 3 with Nina and Bibi, and there's a lot of there's a broad mix of people in that final three as well. So I don't know if maybe Rue and crew were thinking they didn't want to come across as like biased against younger performers,
Mm-hmm.
that they weren't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily going to hold the lack of experience against Rebecca. And I think the pendulum swung too far in that direction, and they may be excused too much for Rebecca based on that.
Yeah, I mean, just to cut it to the wick, right? I'm not talking about like the color of their skin, or even really like maybe age does play a role in this, but like we're talking about like something new, something blue, something borrowed, right? We've got like this
Mm-hmm.
inexperienced but still really talented. Um, talented is a strong word, but
Yeah, I
like
was like,
really beautiful drag queen. Then we've got
yeah.
like the perfect professional, and we've got the drag queen that's been around for forever, and Nina, right? So it's like it's kind of that mix, and there are definitely other queens that could have fit the role for one or the other. But again, just to like
Mm-hmm.
get back to it, I think Rebecca stuck around because they needed someone in that like new and upcoming spot.
That's a good point. And I think from the whole season, right, the only other person that really had an opportunity to fill that type of slot was Akasha. And I
Mm,
think Akasha really sabotaged herself early. Just
very early. Yep.
poor attitude and some poor performance stuff going on. I do think the judges even make a joke about bringing Akasha back in
They do.
after
They
later on.
do.
So you're probably onto something there. Very funny observation. But yeah, I definitely think there was a little bit of maybe trying to keep that representation for new drag queens and kind of a new take on drag, and that probably went a little farther than it should.
Oh, way farther in my opinion, but it's not my show.
Yeah.
I'm just here to talk about it, and hopefully you
Yeah.
like it.
And we'll see if the judges agree with us as we get into that later in the episode. I do want to dive in. I've eaten up a lot of time just talking about general stuff, but let's get into the meat and potatoes of this actual episode.
Mm-hmm.
So this, as a finale, is structured a little bit different than the rest of the season. We don't have a mini challenge. This whole episode is around these three queens essentially writing their own segment and performing in RuPaul's new music video for this song, Cover Girl, Put Some Bass in Your Walk. If you're even a moderate fan of Ru or Drag Race or anything, you've probably heard this song a lot. There are people who don't know anything about Drag Race that have heard this song. This was a pretty successful song for Ru, pretty classic, great drag song. If you haven't listened to it, definitely recommend. But I was surprised when this came up. I was like, oh crap, is this where this is from? Like, I never knew, because you hear the song's featured in like almost every episode moving forward. Like
Oh,
after this
Jesus
point,
Christ.
it's up there.
That's crazy. Listen, I've never
Yeah,
heard this song before. It's not my type of music. Hearing the song, if you haven't seen the episode, hopefully you're not watching this without having seen the episode, or maybe you are. I don't really care.
yeah.
Either way, this song has been it plays in the background for the whole fucking episode, and by the end of it,
Yeah.
I wanted to put something in my ears. It was absolutely insane. Again, not my music. I'm glad that someone out there enjoys it. I think that there's a place for all music. I'm very eclectic in my
Yeah.
taste for music, and I can at least identify that even the music that I don't enjoy to listen to has a place for someone. But golly, am I sad to
It
hear
was a
that I have to
lot.
listen to that for however many more episodes we film of this.
Maybe it'll grow on you. It's definitely got this, like, I don't know. I don't even know if I can effectively put an era on this, like 90s, thousands, like club music kind of
Mm-hmm.
vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the we're going out tonight and this is a song that's going to like pump us up on the way kind of
Yeah, it's like the hard synth in the background, but it's not
thing.
like
Yeah.
it's not
Very synth
synth in
heavy.
like a it's like synth funk, you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 I like this song. I've heard it a ton. So very, very surprised to kind of see this one come in, and very curious what these queens would do. So they're, as I mentioned before, they have to write for this. They have to write a solo rap verse. Um, this will be done in partner with the rapper Caswell. This is not a rapper I knew anything about before watching this episode, to be honest with you.
Hey man,
Not
didn't
that I'm
anyone
the
else
most
either.
tapped into the rap scene. Yeah.
No one else knew who this dude
Um,
was. No way. Did you hear the
yeah.
rap that they like introed him with? He was talking about like McDonald's and Beyonce. Like if that's the
Yeah.
best hit that they could come up with to introduce this
That's the
rapper,
one. Yeah.
legitimately the most budget coach or guest star that they've had on this show, period. And it's in the finale. Like it felt so weird to have this fucking
Yeah.
guy be the coach for rap. Like with having like Lucy Lawless and all of these like fashion people that I never knew, but they obviously have like a huge effect on the fashion world, like the president of
Yeah,
fucking
Bob
Mac or
Mackey
whatever.
was the
Yeah,
judge. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
You feel
yeah.
me? And now we've got
So
Cashmere, the rapper.
Cashmere.
You know, no one's ever heard of you, bro, and it sucks for you that, or it sucks for everyone else,
uh,
really, that this is their experience.
yeah, I wonder if that impacted some of the verses. I imagine it did, honestly, with the type of coaching. The rap was not the strongest thing of the episode for any of these queens.
Mm.
If we're being totally candid. But okay, so the queens they have to write the rap verses, which I believe is supposed to be 8 bars. They have choreo that they have to learn, and this is like high level choreo. This is not, hey, we're going to tone this down because you're amateurs. This is like, hey, this is a professional shoot. This is professional level choreo, and you're going to learn it or you aren't. And then finally, they will actually shoot their segments of the video with Mike Ruiz, who was the director from the very first episode and the Car magazine cover photo shoot. So the Queens did actually already kind of know Mike, and it does create a bit of a fun environment for them when they're filming. And we'll get into that and kind of the stuff that goes down during the photo shoot segment. To start us off, the Queens get into choreo. And as I mentioned before, it's definitely harder than some of the choreo they've seen before. Definitely more professional. And through this segment, while we're kind of watching the Queens learn, Bibi and Nina are holding their own. They're actually doing quite well. We don't hear a ton about them. We do see them dancing and they're kind of hitting the choreo. At least from my perspective, looks like they're nailing it. And then Rebecca is kind of this outlier in the whole situation. She's not hitting any of the marks. Like she's offbeat. She doesn't seem to have anything down. And a lot of the talking heads are about how Rebecca is like not picking this up well.
Yeah, they start in really early. The choreo is like the first thing we dive into after they're told what is going to happen. And they start really early with like the disparagement of Rebecca. And
Rebecca,
is that
yeah,
even a word? Yeah, just
it is
Rebecca
now.
is not cutting it. And first of all, can I say that this takes me back in like a really nightmarish way? I was a musical theater major. Musical theater was my passion for a really, really long time. But being a 6'4", 250-pound man does not lend well to dancing. At least not me, not the way that I'm built. Not very light on my feet at all. You can hear me when I run, is what I'm trying to say. But listen, this is very on brand for how it is, not only in the audition process when you're having to go through the dance portion of an audition, but also in the process of once you've made it into the show, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you do not have time to slow down for anybody. If you don't know how to do this or you can't keep up, guess what? We've got a phone number of 10 other people that auditioned and they can be in here just as quickly. We don't have to waste our time and our money on you. It is very cutthroat and it took me back. It was like a fucking nightmare watching this go down and seeing Rebecca stumble all over the place. I've seen it 1,000 times, and those people get cut, and it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I imagine it's a hard thing to go through. I've never actually been through that process myself, but I can imagine how nerve wracking and kind of self conscious you would feel, especially after you got a part and then got cut later because you couldn't keep up with everybody in the cast, like that would be heartbreaking. So I do see kind of the stress. And that's one of the things I really like about the show. I think I kind of mentioned it in a past episode. These challenges are structured in a very real world way. And this show is very much a boot camp for, so you want to be a professional in this industry, here is all of the stress and bullshit you're going to have to deal with. Like, you need to work through it. And we really start to see some of the cracks showing in Rebecca. The insecurities, I think the immaturity of like needing to be on all the time whenever you're in front of people, and really treating this like a job and less like a hobby, which it feels like maybe was her approach to it before coming to the show.
I think Rebecca is just disillusioned as to what it takes to be a professional in the entertainment industry. And a lot of people are.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that it is very much you go, you get to do the things that you like, because no one likes
Just have
freaking
fun on set.
pressing buttons or like opening the cash register, right? Everyone loves to do the things that they're talented at, singing, dancing, whatever it might be. And they think that it's fun, and then it becomes work, and it is not fun, and you're getting paid for it. And the people around you are getting paid to be around you. And the people that are telling you to do the things are getting paid to tell you to do things. All of that, all of those time, all this time, all those hours adds up to just dollar signs for the person that has the pocketbook, right? So if you can't keep up, you are not worth the time. And not everyone understands that about the entertainment industry. And they see all the stars that they love and all of the like end product, and they don't understand the hell that you have to go through to put out that end product, and how on you have to be, just like you said, all of the fucking time in order to even make it to be the person that is in that end product.
Yeah, and it is kind of crazy the level that you have to go through. And we definitely start to see that wearing on Rebecca. I think disillusion is probably the best way to describe it. And that again probably goes back to age, immaturity, just sort of not in a very fundamental way, just not being prepared for what she was getting into.
Yep.
Yeah, so the choreo section definitely wasn't strong. Definitely wasn't strong for Rebecca, but does set both Bibi and Nina up as kind of, again, standouts, where it's almost like it's a separate competition for them.
Ooh, they were
Like
killing
Bibi
it.
and Nina killing it. Yeah, they're giving energy. They both nailing the choreo. Like the choreographer had nothing but nice things to say about that. And then just a lot of cuts to Rebecca, like complaining and not being strong, but then still sort of carrying that oddly entitled opinion about herself through the whole thing. Like, I don't really got this, but it's okay. I'll still nail it. It's like,
Listen, she thinks she is
mm,
Beyonce up there. She does. She's like, I'll start
she
my
does.
show an hour late. I don't care. I'm Beyonce.
Yeah, and I mean, almost can you blame her given the type of preferential treatment she's seen especially in the last couple of episodes? Like, we definitely talk about it in depth, but there becomes a little bit of a tiff between Chanel and Rebecca, and some stuff happens and some decisions are made by the judges that really demonstrate a favoritism toward Rebecca, and she seems to have taken that, putting it in her purse, and is carrying it all the way to the finale.
If I
That
spent that much time,
favoritism.
if I spent that much time in RuPaul's dressing room, I'd feel pretty invincible too. So it is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Woof. So choreo, not going great for Rebecca, looking really good for the other two queens. The episode then progresses to the rap segment. Now, this segment is broken up by the queens going and having a one-on-one interview with RuPaul over the very classic supermodel meal, a couple of Tic Tacs, and a drink, which I love that bit. I think it's hilarious. Rue's like, "Oh, I've already had too many. I can't." It's like a very funny joke on the situation. But getting back to the performance, the very first rap segment we jump to is Rebecca's again. So we're coming off of Rebecca not doing great into the choreo, and we bring Rebecca into the studio, and we're like, oh, is this a chance for Rebecca to maybe redeem herself, to, you know, get you know, a little bit of, you know, something noteworthy to show, and doesn't work out.
Listen, though, when she first showed up and spit the bars that she had, it was like this like speed rappy kind of jivey thing, and honestly, it wasn't bad. And then Casimir, what's his name? Caswell comes out and it's like, okay, so that was 4 bars, but now you have 4 bars of nothing. Where's the other 4? And she's like, I have to write 4 more bars, as if you didn't know you had to write fucking 8 bars to begin with. What are you doing showing up with only 4 bars? We told you to show up with 8 fucking bars. You showed up with 4 bars. What'd you think was going to happen? So now we're going to sit here for half your time while you write whatever bullshit you can think of, 4 more bars of bull fucking shit, and then work it out and record it. Crazy.
Yeah. And do it quick, because this whole time is supposed to be your recording time.
Yes.
And now we're cutting into your recording time for you to finish writing your segment that you should have known. I do think it's worth noting, after the 4 original bars, the next 4 bars were, yeah, RuPaul, get it.
Yeah, just MC bullshit.
yeah, like background hype man shit.
Yeah, just waiting for
like,
to come out.
1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah. That's fucking great. What an idiot. Oh, gosh. I need rough. Like that rainbow, like the more you know, you're a dumbass bitch, to come up in between my hands. If you could edit that in, please. I'm talking to you because you're editing.
Yeah, okay. Got it. I'll try. Let's see if I can figure that one out.
Bet that.
Yeah, I like crazy. And we've talked about it already a bunch. We're going to talk about it through this entire episode. Rebecca is not being shown to be a very professional, prepared individual at all. The choreo, there's not a lot of prep work you can do for that. You come with a good energy and an open mind, and you try to learn the choreo, right? Struggles with that. We get to rap, realistically, the one thing you needed to prepare ahead of time, like obviously outfit, planning, some other things for the shoot, but like the one actual, like, hey, do some pre-work on this segment, does half of it, and then has to waste time with the coach, with everybody, to write the other half before she can finish.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna say something directly into the camera. In case you haven't noticed already, this is going to be a hoedown, and we're going to fuck Rebecca up this whole fucking episode. And I'm personally fucking excited about that. If you're not down for that, I hate to say it, click the fuck away. Watch a different episode, because Rebecca, you're so fucked. You're fucked this episode. It was terrible. She's bad, and Caswell said that she was bad. In fact, what was it? Hold on. I wrote it down. At the end of her session, Caswell was like, well, we got what we got. We got what we got. See you later. Have a good day. That has to be what we got. Absolutely terrible feeling.
Damn. Well, you would think if anybody was in the real world when that happened, they would probably be devastated. But Rebecca is still floating on cloud 9, and it's just like, yeah, we sure as fuck did get what we get, didn't we?
Hell yeah. Up here in Glasscock land, we give that shit all day.
Yeah, like, I swear she walked out of that studio like she just fucking killed it. And it was
I know.
Crazy.
Poor Delulu. You. Poor thing. Delulu. Bless your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After we see Rebecca's segment of her just floundering, honestly, and being way unprepared, which is, as Dax has said, time is money when you are on these sets and working with these people. They are paid for their time. Coming in unprepared, making somebody wait on you. Like, I think Caswell even also said something like, okay, well, I'll just sit over here and you come get me when you're ready, kind of a thing. Crazy. Like, absolutely insane. You would never get away with that in like the professional world, right? You'd
never
be Yeah, immediately. So just absolutely crazy that she does that. After that segment, we jump to uh, an interview where I think it's Nina. I might have the order messed up on this a little bit, but Nina comes out and talks to Rue in the one-on-one chat over the Tic Tacs. This is also a recurring segment for the series. So it's an opportunity for these final queens to really share a little bit about themselves, what this means to them. And Nina has a pretty touching story, I think. She talks about, well, Rue asks, have there been any difficult moments in your career? Nina says yes, and talks about her mother passing. And after that happened, she took a break from performing for about 2 years, like just sort of, you know, I guess, reviewing, what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of um, rethinking some of their decisions in life and like, is this what I want to do? Ultimately decides, yes, like my mother would want me to do this. I'm going to get back into performing. Has a big, grand, like reopening kind of performance. Like a new debut performance, and her father shows up. She mentions her father had not really previously been very supportive of the drag performing and everything, but her father shows up and does support her now, and that like really kind of brings her together, which is very wholesome, very heartwarming story. Reveals Nina as a person and kind of a human being, and allows you to connect, and I think that was sweet. I think that was nice.
Yeah, I'm glad that you recapped that story for me because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so tired of fucking reality slop. My eyes were going cross, and I was just like, "Can this be over already?" Like things were going well. We were trashing on Rebecca. You want to give me this reality slop? Like this is a great story. Don't get me wrong, but everyone's got some fucking sad story, man. And
Everyone's lost somebody, been through
yeah,
something.
everyone's mama's
Yeah.
gonna die. Everyone's dad is disappointed in them. We're all trying to please our dads and get our moms back. And goddamn, you just show me these bitches dance or something. Like I'm trying to get through the show. I want to know who won. But yeah, you know what? That's the moment of a reconnecting father and deciding that being a drag queen, dressing up a woman is what you want to pursue for your life. Absolutely great. Thank you, Nina.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you here. This isn't particularly memorable. No offense to Nina. We love Nina, and everything you've been through is hard and valid and all of that. But as a viewer, like, it's almost like when you're watching the Olympics, like every segment is just someone's parent had cancer their whole life and they had to do through that, and then like I don't know, their home got blown up and they had to crawl for 8 miles before they could get help or whatever the fuck happened.
Right? Yeah, exactly that.
Like
Exactly that.
everyone's got a crazy story. And at a certain point, it's almost like I feel the producers here just trying to pull at my heartstrings. It's like, stop doing that. Like, let it be genuine.
Yeah, you're forcing it.
Like,
You're forcing a little bit.
yeah, you're forcing it a little bit. But always good to see a little bit into the performer's life. But you know, I don't think it did a ton to change my opinion or add anything to what I still like Nina. I liked Nina before. I thought they were a great person. Knowing that they went through some hardship and stuff just sort of fits with the shtick, right?
Yeah, listen, bro, you're a drag
Um,
queen. I already know your life's fucking hard. You're not
yeah,
going to be a drag queen and have an easy life. Sorry about it, especially
yeah,
not in 2008. Ain't happening.
yeah, exactly. Um, So yeah, we jump back from that interview segment into I believe Nina's recording session.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nina and Bibi's recording session both kind of blur together for me, even though I did literally just watch this episode again to like refresh my notes and everything.
Well, I mean,
They
it's just
both
like
just
a foreign like accent, not able to really understand what the fuck you're saying.
yeah.
Recording session, right?
Yeah, there's not much of note that happens, and we don't see a ton of either Nina or Bibi's, probably because they don't want to spoil it. But yeah, the only real moment is like Caswell saying, "Hey, it's kind of hard to understand what you're saying. I need you to." He says, "Pronunciate."
Mm-hmm.
I think the word
Mm-hmm.
he's looking for was enunciate a little more.
Yes.
um, but then that's really it. Not a ton. Um, So I'm gonna low key fast forward through this. Feel free to jump in if you have anything specific you want to add. But it's like you said, it's kind of run of the mill stuff, and I want to get back to shitting on Rebecca. So,
Yeah, well, I do have a couple of things to say. One, I
oh,
would
okay,
have loved if Nina uh, maybe use some Spanish, right? Portuguese,
yeah,
whatever language. I
Spanish, I
think it
think
would have come
Spanish.
across much cooler. Of course, this is probably not that kind of rap. Probably doesn't fit really well if we get like a little like cholo style piece in here. But listen, bro, I would have
Maybe,
felt the fuck out of that. I think that would have
yeah,
been
it's not wrong.
fucking hot and really dope.
I didn't think about that. Yeah,
And then like if we just want to like gloss over this section, Bibi's rap was weird in my opinion.
I
Like I
agree.
understood what she was going for, and like again, this is not a song that I would listen to anyway. But like the rap was kind of weird. None of these dudes can really rap. I don't think any of these dudes
No,
listen to rap on the outside. Maybe
not really.
Rebecca a little bit, but like honestly, just not good. Was not great.
Not good. Not a great showing for any of them. Such an iconic song too for them to be included on this, and even the one that ultimately does get included, it's still like ugh, I don't know that we really added a lot to the song
Mm-hmm.
here. Like maybe we fast forward through this segment whenever we go back and re-listen. So yeah, just sort of the quick 10,000 foot overview. Like both of them do well. Nobody does anything that's really noteworthy or all that amazing, right?
Nope.
Um, we do in between these, right, continue to jump back to the interview sections. We get Bibi up there interviewing with Rue. Another kind of touching, wholesome, honestly, maybe a little more sad story about Bibi coming from Cameroon and like the poverty and health issues and stuff that they struggle with just as a nation, and how important it is for Bibi to help try to bring awareness to that, do some outreach. And that's what Bibi wants to do with the win here, is to bring attention to that and like do a lot for her community. Totally noble. Honestly, of all of the reasons to win, this is, I think, clearly the most noble and like benevolent of them, where she's like, I don't really want to win for me. I want to win for my culture and to like be able to help as many people as I possibly can, which is a very political answer, but also low-key a little bit of a boring one.
It was a
Sad though it
pageant.
may be.
It was a pageant answer. There was definitely like a
Pageant
touching
answer, yeah.
moment talking about like watching people die in front of you, screaming out for help. Like that's
Very sad.
horrific,
Horrific,
at
right.
best. But like also, you can call it what it is. This was a beauty pageant fucking answer right here.
Mm-hmm.
This was win the crowd with your cries and your smiles or whatever it might be. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't knock her for that. She hit it right.
Yeah, yeah. Not to say it's disingenuous or anything. I imagine it comes from a very real place for her. But yeah, very pageanty kind of answer. Um, and then our favorite, Rebecca, comes out for the
Mm.
final interview. And this one, though not very long, is at least mildly interesting. Not in a good way for Rebecca, of course. Rue mentions that she is the youngest and least experienced of the queens and asks how she deals with it. Um, and oh, sorry, my notes are a little bit bad here. Brings up that she's the youngest and least experienced, and talks about how some of the other queens have a bit of a rough relationship with Rebecca, and asks how Rebecca deals with it. And Rebecca just says she's used to it, and comes back saying, "I." Rue comes back to that saying, "I often think about my contribution." I know I'm really eating this up. It's kind of a word salad on a description of what's going on here, but Rue asks how Rebecca deals with the bad attitudes that she's getting. Rebecca says she's used to it. Rue says, I often think about my contribution to a situation. What do you think you could have done to potentially create that friction with the other queens? Right. And Rebecca says, I think I just kept to myself and they misunderstood that as being rude. That's her take on the whole situation.
Yeah. So listen, Rebecca has zero personality. Okay. I'm not sure that Rebecca's a real person, even, but like this entire interview section reminded me a little bit of Mean Girls. You know what I mean? It was just kind of
Yeah.
like me. Well, there's nothing wrong with me. These other girls are just icky and gross, and they don't like me because of how pretty and beautiful I am. It's not my fault
Yeah.
that they're old and wrinkly and hate themselves. And because they hate themselves, they project that onto me. It's like, bitch, please. We hate
Yes.
you because you're fake and fuck you. Like, man,
Yeah.
this,
You're fake and you suck at this.
it was just, yeah, it was super, super mean girls to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hilariously out of touch answer, I think. Like, no introspection at all. Very much. Even when Rue was like, hey, be a little introspective right now. I'm prompting you to be a little introspective. Almost like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is what we need to see out of you for you to kind of correct some stuff.
And
And
there's
she's
nothing
just
but
like,
wind.
yeah, no, the other queens are just old. Yeah. Right. Right. Rough. Rough answer. After this segment, the rap and little interview segment, we get into the video shoot where the
Mm.
queens are now shooting. They do what appears to be a bit of a collective shoot where they're all wearing like similar outfits, and there might even be extra dancers in the background. They do some like collective shooting stuff. Then I think they break up to like change into unique separate outfits. At which point they return and do one-on-one shoots to do their own verse and dance segments and stuff for their section of the video. As you can imagine, Bibi and Nina, both fully prepared, come out, have their allotted time to shoot, do well. Mike is having a good interaction with both of them, very professional, getting all the shots that they need to get. Mike complimenting them. Great, great, good job. Bibi out here killing it. He does say, I had a little note, Mike comments on how crazy Bibi's face kind of looks in
Oh
some of
my
the
God,
shots.
bro.
She's very Bibi goes very wide-eyed and like wide mouth smile for a lot of these, and Mike's like happier but not crazy happy. Like,
Less scary. Less scary,
less
more
scary,
happy.
yeah, less crazy smile, not that big.
At
Like,
the end of it, he's just laughing. He's just I can't get her to do the
it's
right
so
thing, so I'm
funny.
just gonna laugh at it.
It's so funny. Yeah, Bibi, I guess, forgot what happy looked like and just went full
Yeah, just wide
with
eyed
everything.
fucking ooh.
Wide-eyed,
And honestly,
wide
like the
mouth
fan
smile.
didn't help. The fan was
No, with
not
the
doing
hair getting
BB.
blown up.
Yeah, the hair
Yeah,
was getting like misshapen and kind of like blown in the wrong kind of way. The type of wig she
yeah,
had on, like, already kind of has the windblown look and could have done without the fan, honestly. But also,
agreed.
BB wears these fucking long ass kite style fucking eyelashes, bro. I've never seen eyelashes this long. And listen, I live in an area where long eyelashes are like a trend, and these
Yeah.
eyelashes are fucking long, bro. So I honestly believe that half that that like wide eyed look was BB's eyelashes getting caught in the wind from the fan. Because damn, that fan was strong.
Just pulling her eyelids up and flapping them open.
Yeah, man. I mean, did you see that? Golly, it
Yes,
was bad.
yeah,
It
that
wasn't
that
super
was
good.
too funny.
It
No,
wasn't super
it
good. Everything
was
else about BB
it was
was
very funny.
pretty great, but like the fan section, little solo section,
Yeah,
not the
a
best
couple of those
work.
shots and like the close up. Yeah, not her best showing. It was genuinely funny to watch though.
Yeah,
BB's face was kind of crazy. We see Nina do a little bit. Mike seems happy. Everybody's sort of happy. There isn't even really a moment like that with Nina. It's just things go really smoothly, right?
yeah. Nina killed it.
Yeah. So both queens, kill it, just doing a great job. Meanwhile, Rebecca nowhere to be found. She's not offset waiting like Nina is when BB's up. She's not waiting for anybody. She's not around. We just don't know where she is. And time comes up for Rebecca to do her solo shoot, and director Mike Ruiz is like, anyone else? Who's next? Where do we have Rebecca? Where is Rebecca? Cut to Rebecca in the bathroom, still trying to get ready, still trying to get dressed, and not prepared. Crazy. Like, again, time is money, especially on a full set where you not just have a director, you have camera people, sound people, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't even know how many people are involved in like a full shoot like that.
To be late for a
And
shoot. Oof.
and she's late. She's late, significantly late, to the point where Mike's like, okay, well, do both of you want to come back up and continue to shoot? Do you want to get more shoot time?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Rebecca,
we've got these people here. We're paying them for something. We got to get
yeah,
our
get out
time
here.
out of this.
Yeah, we're never going to be like, oh, we have too much footage of you guys. It just helps them.
Yep.
It helps them. So Rebecca's not only shooting herself in the foot by being late and being unprofessional and all those things, she's also giving more time to her competitors to shoot more footage, to have a better shoot, right?
Yeah, for someone who's such a competitive person to not really
Yeah.
understand that piece or have that
Hmm.
outlook, again, just a severe lack of experience.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. All of that, you know, Rebecca scrambling to get ready, the other queens getting additional shoot time, just for Rebecca to eventually show up on set, kind of come in a scramble, walk out to in front of the camera, and be a complete mess. Like her wig's not on right, her hairline is showing like probably a good half inch from the front of her wig. Just black boy hair pushed back behind this blonde ass wig on top of it, the most obvious thing. And the director, Mike, is like, do you know that we can see your whole hairline? Is that okay? And she's like, no, I just didn't have time and I was rushed and I wasn't able to get ready. And he's like, do you want to take more time and go fix your wig? And she's like, yes, I do. And just fucking scurries offset again. And here we are. Mike looks at Bibi and Nina and says, come on back out here. Let's get even more shoot time.
Terrible. Terrible. Like I fully believe that 3/4 of Rebecca's shoot time used by Bibi and Nina. In
Yeah.
fact, she uses so much time to get ready that by the time she comes back out, they're still in the middle of doing like this cat fight kind of scenario between Bibi and Nina.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what is his name? Mike, director Mike, just like
Yeah.
waves are on, like, just get in here, like jump in the back. We'll figure out how to cut you in. Like, we got to get you in the
Yeah.
footage at some fucking point. So get in here and do your thing. And she comes in and, does her thing. And I think Mike being complimentary, to really build the confidence of his talent, was even read a little bit wrong by Bibi, because like Mike, she comes in, she's late. Mike's giving her direction. You're beautiful, perfect. Let the wind blow in your hair, get the thing off your lip, and is giving her
Get the
like
hair out
this
of your
direction.
lip.
And Bibi's like, I swear to God, if Rebecca does all of this shit and fucking wins just because she's a looker, I'm going to be pissed. She said more words than
Yeah.
that, and probably a few words that could be shown on TV. But I mean, that was the sentiment. Like, there's no fucking way this bitch is going to come in and be this unprofessional and win off of her looks. But honestly, based on everything that I've seen from the judges, like, I think that's maybe what they're looking for, and that pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And it's almost comical, the stark difference between the level of professionalism that Nina and Bibi both have compared to Rebecca, and what Rebecca does on set and on stage.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a lack of professionalism. Like, we get to her solo piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finally filming her alone because she finally got herself ready enough for the camera, and like 2 seconds into it, she's like badly lip syncing to the song, and director
Yeah.
Mike is like, if you don't know the words, don't move your mouth. Just like, stop it.
Yeah.
If you don't know the words, don't move your fucking mouth. Just sit up there and look pretty. It's obviously the only fucking thing you're good at, right? So
Yep.
do that really, really well, and we'll figure out how to fix it in the back room and editing.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Obviously incorrect lyrics. It was almost like she was up there doing the like watermelon trick, just watermelon.
Yeah,
watermelon,
yeah.
like the whole
Peas and
time.
carrots, peas and carrots. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could tell Rebecca had no clue what the words. Also, like how are you gonna not know the words? Even I understand it's not a lip sync. I get that, right? But like you must have been hearing this song all day, all day.
You're
You're
going
not
to
going to
be
know at least some of the words.
you're going to be featured in the music video for
Yeah,
this hit song or whatever like status it is in the
yeah,
finale, in the fucking finale of the show where we are choosing the winner. And
the
you
winner.
not only didn't, I would figure, right, if you were late and didn't have enough time to get dressed and look presentable, it was because you were doing so much work to make the show an actually good show. But it
Yeah.
obviously wasn't that, because you still couldn't fucking dance. You didn't know the words to the song. What were you doing? Were you
Yeah.
running? You had to wipe your lips down. You were running from the dressing room, from RuPaul's dressing room. Like, it took that fucking
And
long. Like, what the
can
fuck was
we,
going on?
yeah, exactly. Can we talk about how Rebecca took the longest to get ready out of all the queens and had by far the simplest look out
Yep.
of everybody. So
Yep.
what are we doing? And you're, I mean, nail on the head. Mike had to give so much direction, and Rebecca just could not follow it.
Nope.
Stop moving your mouth if you don't know the words. Get the hair out of your mouth. Like, he had to say that like 4 or 5 times before she eventually goes, oh, there's hair in my lip, right? And
Yeah.
then
God.
he's like, just walk in place on the mark. She's walking forward. He's like, don't, not forward, just walk on the mark, lift your legs up. And she's just bouncing, lift your feet up and walk. Like,
It doesn't look like you're
just
walking.
not
I don't know
doing
what you're
it.
doing, but it doesn't look like walking, is what he says.
Yeah. Just not beyond being late, being disrespectful of the entire situation, of the crew, of everybody's time, coming out unprepared in the simplest look. Also not easy to work with, just difficult to work with, not
Mm-hmm.
taking direction, not responding well. Like, where's the upside here? What is the good? I mean, Rebecca, this obviously comes down to personal opinion, but as two straight guys, I think both of us can agree, of the pretty queens that appeared in this season, Jade beats Rebecca 10 times out of 10, in my
Oh,
opinion.
absolutely.
Jade is way prettier than Rebecca.
Yeah.
No offense. I mean, it's not like a pretty contest, but that seems to be the thing Rebecca is banking on. And what I'm saying here is that even that she's not the best in.
Hey, what the fuck have you been watching? This is a pretty contest. This is,
It is a
to
bit of
a
a pretty
certain extent,
contest.
about how pretty you are. And Rebecca's version
Yeah.
of pretty is like just freshly been fucked wig and like
Yes.
fucking headlight eyes. I don't fucking get it. It's not.
Yeah.
She's not up to par in
God, what was
comparison to a
that?
lot of the queens.
What was there in this time frame? There was the famous like blonde bimbo like girl who was married to that really old rich guy. Do you remember who I'm talking about? What was her
Oh, are you
name?
talking about Hugh Hefner's wife?
No, kind of the same, but this, I don't even know what her husband's name was. The woman was famous as like a gold digger.
I don't know. All I can think of is
Man,
Holly, whatever her name is. Hugh Hefner's like
yeah, the
20 some odd year
Playboy
old. Yeah.
bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
no, dang, what was her name? I don't know. Maybe I can find it in the edit and add it in, or we'll just cut this whole segment because it's a bad reference.
Yeah, great. Thanks for giving us a whole bunch of shit that we got to cut now. Perfect,
Yep,
Kevin.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Everybody loves that, right? Large cuts. But yeah, just blonde bimbo, kind of no depth, nothing to it. Like, honestly, arguably an offensive stereotype of women being portrayed like as Rebecca's drag persona, like just
Maybe, but I
empty
mean,
nothingness,
is it not
right?
her personality? Like,
Yeah,
her
I mean,
personality is zero personality. Like, just
yep,
freshly fucked and got here just in time to win some grace for being somewhat pretty, passable.
yeah, very true, very true. And yeah, I guess the only reason she beat Jade was because she represented the younger demographic, and Jade didn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rough, rough stuff. But I do think that's a good segue into, in addition to all of this, of course, the queens do have to put on a final runway. I do have some visuals for that. We'll talk about that, and we'll get into how they performed in their individual shoots and parts of the music video, and what the judges had to say about them. So, for starters, we have Miss Bibi Zahara Benet. This is not the order they came out in, I don't think. It's just the order I put them in. So let's talk through Bibi. First off, her runway look. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of wraps up who BB is. At the end of the day, very, very classy,
Mm-hmm.
very, I don't know, classy is the only adjective I can think of. I have so many bad things to say about Rebecca that I've run out of good adjectives somehow. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like this. I like BB. Honestly, if BB doesn't win by the end of this, I may not be here for season 2. So stick
For
around
season
and
2.
see what the fuck happens at the end of this episode.
Yeah, see if there's going to be a season 2. Yeah, I agree. I do think none of these queens really come out in anything that blows me away, that like takes my breath away. These are all just like good versions of their looks, except for Rebecca. But uh, this is a good look. It's elevated compared to what she normally does, which is usually some kind of like animal print with maybe a bodysuit or a corset or something. Like it's not, super elegant, but it is gorgeous. It's appropriate for the situation. I think the hair is done really well. I actually think the hair and face might be the best of BB's I've seen so far. If I was rating, this would probably be number one for me.
I mean, I think this hair is the same hair that she used in the fruity challenge. Well, all the challenges are fruity. These are gay dudes we're talking about. In the like
the
the
fruit
absolute vodka
where they had to
challenge.
incorporate food.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I clocked that the first time, but good eyes. Still looks good. It doesn't have a
Yeah,
bunch of
I'm not.
raspberries hanging on it.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
disparaging in any way. I just recognize
yeah,
the hair. Honestly, I think that this gown could have worked for that challenge as well if she
could have.
didn't use it. Can't remember. I don't think she did. But yeah,
No,
the
they had to make
overall
their own outfit for that one.
overall a very elegant look here that I can, get behind. I don't
Totally
want to say
appropriate.
that this is a great look, elegant look. I'm not getting behind anybody.
Yet, this is a great. This is a great. This is a great look. It's appropriate for what's going on. Not a ton of notes. Jumping into BB's performance in the challenge. Um, from what we saw, choreo was solid, very professional. She
Hmm.
looked very comfortable. The rap, as we both kind of mentioned, not the best rap I've ever heard.
A little weird.
Not even the goodest rap I've ever heard.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
it wasn't terrible. Um, it wasn't great. It
But
wasn't
hey,
great.
I'm not super experienced in is gay rap a genre? I'm not super experienced in.
I bet
I'm
it
gonna
is.
coin it. Yeah, I'm gonna coin it. I'm not super deep in gay rap, so like maybe this is right on the nose for that genre.
Maybe. I've heard a few of Rue's songs and some of what the other queens have done in future seasons. I'll say none of these queens carried a great tune through
Hmm.
this, and it works. It works. I think blah. I think BB's strong suit in the shoot was the choreo, the face, the energy, the vibe that she was bringing through the
Agreed.
shoot and
Yeah,
everything. Plus, it probably didn't hurt that she had, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes of extra shoot time.
yeah. Half, if
Right.
not 3/4 of Rebecca's time absolutely helped there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So overall performance really solid. Like if we talk about the entire episode and the way it's been framed, BB very professional, very prepared, working with everybody really well, great attitude the whole time, comes out and delivers in something you can't really knock. Again, the rap probably could have used some work, but she's not a rapper. This isn't a rap competition. I think she did well. I think she did really, really well.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Up next, we have Miss Nina Flowers.
Wouldn't
This
be
is a
Nina
very
Flowers without a giant fucking mohawk.
wouldn't be Nina without a giant mohawk and a pantsuit with a corset on it. You
This
know,
is like a secret squirrel kind of flying squirrel look here, though. We've got fabric now
hmm
connecting the legs, which is a new take, I think.
yeah, it's a train that's connected down the side hem of both of the legs of the pants, which is very interesting. I think both the judges kind of comment on this. It's a good look. It's a classic Nina look. this isn't sharply different or starkly different from episode 1 and the walkout look. That was just kind of an orange and blonde version of this outfit, minus the train. The train, I think, is what brings the most difference here compared to some of the other stuff we've seen. But as always, Nina always looks good on the runway. She has a good attitude and a good walk, and I think she just continued to serve what she had been serving, right?
I think this outfit is like, you're going to get lucky tonight if you can follow me out this airplane. I can't get past the fact that I think this is a glide suit. But also, if we land safely at the bottom, like, it's also kind of like lingerie a little bit. Like, you might get lucky tonight. This is definitely like the blue lights turned on. You're coming home from work. You're going to get lucky tonight. The fucking music's on when you walk through the door. But also, surprise, we're jumping out the airplane before.
Sexy skydive kink, right?
Sexy skydive kink.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. You fucking
I'll
coined
be your
it right
instructor
there.
tonight.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. Just strap you on my back and let's ride.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll be your parachute, baby.
Yeah, 100%. It's intriguing, the side hem train thing. It's not enough for this to really blow me away at all. I think even compared to like Bibi's look, where Bibi is still very classically Bibi, but it is slightly elevated compared to pretty much everything else she's walked out in the whole season, where this feels very in line with everything that Nina's done all season.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. For Nina's performance, similar notes to Bibi's. Good choreo, good presence in front of the camera, like good energy. The rap, again, wasn't great. This one was kind of rudimentary, like just basic rhyme scheme. The judges mentioned that. I think Santino talks about it's like a very elementary rap with just like cup and up and things like that.
Yeah. What is it? The fat cat and the brown hat shat on the rat, or whatever it is. Whatever that is that you learn in grade school. I'm sure it's just like that.
Something like that. Yeah. There's obviously a bit of that ESL stuff coming in here, and Nina not being the strongest with English. To your point earlier in the episode, lean into the Spanish. Do some Spanish. Like,
bro,
throw
give
Spanish
me some of that.
There. Probably
that like 2000, like Fast and the Furious was popular at this time, man.
Look, Enrique Iglesias was popping off.
I'm telling
right?
you, bro.
We had Shakira, right? There was a lot. There was a lot of Latin influence at the
time.
Bro,
you hit me with a little lole. I get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see? Yeah. So I think that's a really solid critique on your part. That's a really good call out. Probably could have leaned into the Spanish a little bit more, leaned into the heritage a little bit more. And
it would have been so dope. It would have been so dope.
It would have been pretty cool. I almost want to like give her a chance to go back and try again and do it that way.
Seriously, Nina, listen, call us. Let's do this again. Let's run it back. But this time, fucking Mexican OT style. We're going to fucking blow this thing out. I swear to God.
Yeah, that would have been good. Aside from that, look was good. Performance was good. And shot was good. You know, we don't see... like the whole episode doesn't spend a ton of time on this anyway, because it's like good. All of it's good. There's just not a lot to say about it. You know, Well done. Good job. You met the brief. We love it. Finally, both of our favorites and kind of the star of our episode, Miss Rebecca Glasscock.
Whoa.
And here she is in that freshly fucked wig you mentioned.
Freshly fucked wig. Same dress that she wore for the music video. No taste. What else can I say?
Just black shoes.
Yeah,
shoes and a
black
dress.
shoes that don't really match the dress. Earrings that have no place in this look. What are those bracelets?
We're serving. Looks like it was purchased from a kiosk in a mall.
Yeah, we're definitely serving fucking Hot Topic and Forever 21. But unfortunately, you're 17, so like it's weird that you're wearing all this shit. Yeah. Ew. I don't like you.
Just. Not good. And like, if I were to take this shoot, this runway look, and just inject it into any of the previous episodes, you would know. You wouldn't be like, oh, that's clearly a finale look.
Oh, no way.
Arguably,
Mm-hmm.
you could critique that way for Nina, but like, this is boring. This is off the rack clothes. There's nothing special about this. This isn't even like a fancy night out. This is what, going to the bar or club with some friends?
No, this is walking
Like
the
at
street.
best.
This is walking the
Yeah,
street waiting for the first
true.
John is what this is. Honestly, the best thing about this
True.
look is the fucking, I don't know, the nails. Nails are on fleek. Are kids still saying fleek? I don't know. I'm 35. Fuck it.
Pretty
Those
cool.
nails are great. Everything else looks like I would pick it up on Harry Hines. And if you don't know what that is here in Dallas, that's where you get your whores. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just not feeling this one. Definitely not for a finale.
No. Just, I think, a good visual representation of Rebecca as a performer as a whole.
Mm.
I wrote for my notes again, very pedestrian. Like,
Ooh,
just
bringing back
nothing
the P
interesting
word.
about this thing. Yeah, it's our word of the season.
Love it. Pedestrian. Yes.
Just basic, just not great.
Oh, also Nina does big hair, so I'm gonna do big hair. But
Yeah,
this hair, I got fucked in this hair. So
yeah.
that's
Just before I walked out.
just before.
Just before I walked out.
Yep.
Yeah. That's actually why Rue was late to the judging stand. So
Mhm.
just so everybody knows.
Took one more chance.
Yeah. Not great. Performance in the video, not good.
Not great. Yeah,
Not good.
equivalent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All of it just kind of rounding the immature, inexperienced, unprofessional. It comes out, the rap, like, I wrote the competition in the rap section is not fierce in general. She does like okay, but her rap to me comes across as a bit word salad. Like, she tries that quick rap, like speed rap stuff, and just doesn't really hang well. So she just throws a bunch of words at you in her 8 bars, but doesn't really mean anything, doesn't really do much for me or for the shoot or the song.
Honestly, I want to be mad that Rebecca Glasscock, because I clocked this name at the beginning. I think that this is one of the coolest names. I love names that are
You
kind of like a
did.
little double entendre, If we're
Yeah.
going to be a drag queen, like, fuck it, let's be Ginger Minge and fucking Rebecca Glasscock or whatever the cool names are
Yeah.
out there. And I was
A
excited about
mandatory
her.
meeting.
But when you think about it, like, I want to rip this name away from her so bad, but it's so descriptive because Rebecca, just like a glass cock, is completely see-through, empty, and soulless. And
Just
at the end of the
transparent.
day, she might be a good fuck, but she's just cold
Just
and
transparent and
lifeless.
single use.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It ends up being fitting for all the wrong reasons.
Indeed.
I think.
Indeed.
Yeah. And that brings us to the judges, right? So in the episode, these queens are all kind of shown their little segments and they come out. The judges don't really say much to them directly, like aside from some minor things. Then they leave and we get the full judge critiques. And one of the first things the judges start out with is how Rebecca is not in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They pretty much kick her off like right to begin with. And I tell you what, man, that was a glory, glory, hallelujah moment for me. I got up and almost sang, bro. My Bible was not close, but I wanted to fucking beat it because the Lord showed up for us today and removed the wickedness from this competition. I swear to God, she was gone. I fucking was so happy. Literally, they walk out, all three on stage. They're kind of like going through a little bit, and then they're like, oh, wait, Rebecca, you're still here? Could you, like, not be here? Instead, just go ahead and walk the fuck off stage.
Yeah. Yes. Loved it. Felt like redemption and validation for the whole season.
Yes.
I did skip one thing that I want to jump back to. While Rebecca's up and they're doing the judging, the judges ask Rebecca why the queens may not like her, right? This is kind of reintroducing the question she got in the interview segment. I think it's intended to give Rebecca another shot at this. And Rebecca responds, for, maybe in not as few words, 'cause they're old. That's it.
I think
Why
that's
did
all
the
she
other queens
says.
not
Yeah.
like you? Because they're old. And then she laughs a little bit and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to really call you old."
Yeah. Yeah. And they do
Except
that
that's
like
just like exactly what you said.
that natural, like, did they, she just really say that I'm
Yeah.
old? Yeah. And then she's
Right.
like, oh, sorry. I didn't mean to call you
Sorry.
old.
I didn't mean to
Get that.
directly call you old. I
Mm.
just said that you were old,
Older than
Yeah.
me.
Oh, it was taken out of context.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely unaware.
Just ridiculous. But yeah, the judges talking about Rebecca when they get into just deliberating, Rue I think mentions Rue I think candidly mentions, I do get a little mesmerized by her beauty, and I think maybe that's carried her too far. And the other two judges are like, yes. Like, yes, exactly, that is what happened.
It has been, we've been trying to tell you this whole time. Quit
Yeah.
letting her into your dressing room. It's messing with your head.
Yes, vindicated. 100% vindicated. The other two judges are like, Rebecca's not in the discussion. Like, she doesn't need to be here. She's clearly not at the same level as the other
Yes.
two queens.
Even Santino, which, like,
Yeah.
listen, I don't agree with Santino very fucking often. But Santino's like,
Yeah.
yeah, Rebecca's not, it's not it.
Not it. Not even near at the level of the other two queens. Like, they all seem to have the sentiment that it would be just a general insult to the art and to the competitors for Rebecca to, honestly, it's already a little bit of an insult that she's still here. It's more of an insult for us to even consider her in this conversation with the other two queens.
Listen, bro, I'm not even, like, into this in that way, but I had to watch this shit, and I was insulted having to fucking watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, wild. So very validated, and the judges, I think, in a candid moment, were very much like, she should not be here. She should not have made it this far. Like, we messed up. Rue kind of admits, I messed up a little bit. I should not have kept her as long as I did. So yeah, maybe we can send her home.
The truth shall set you
For the other
free.
queens,
It's okay. You can say it, Rue.
yeah,
Just tell us. I get it.
yeah, 100%. For the other queens, we don't get a ton of critiques, right? Much like this episode has been for us, the judges segment was very much a lot of time just shitting on Rebecca and how she wasn't as good as the other two queens. There aren't really anything negative. There aren't really any negative notes for Bibi. Santino does mention that she doesn't bring quite as much energy as Nina, but everyone touts Bibi as being extremely professional, like worthy of her position, potentially worthy of the win. Bibi is a standout. She's been solid and strong the entire season. Nina, also solid and strong the whole season. It's mentioned again that she has not been in the bottom yet, which is, an accomplishment for sure. And I think there's a little bit of splitting hairs with some of the stuff between Nina and Bibi, but at the end of the day, Bibi does appear to be edging out Nina for the the final win spot among the judges during their deliberation.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about never being in the bottom when
Yeah.
everyone else has been in the bottom, right? So being the only queen to never be in the bottom, that's a big accomplishment. I think is the word mixture I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because when you look at like the likes of Bibi and Angina and the queens that they beat out to even be here, and to be able to have that accomplishment, I've always been maybe not on top of, but more consistent than these queens is like a big old feather in a probably very large hat to fit on top of some very large hair.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely agree. I think when judging stuff like this, you always anticipate that the resume of the show and past performance is going to weigh in. And I think that's a big plus on Nina's resume, that she
Yeah.
has never been at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, Bibi, of course, I think was only in the bottom the one time when it was her versus Angina, and she sent Angina home.
Yeah, tough episode that.
So little bit of a knock on Bibi for ending up in the bottom in that episode, but a little bit of a plus on Bibi for beating Angina out and sending Angina home, who is also a very strong competitor. So resumes again. It's a tough decision, I think, between Bibi and Nina. You know, aside from just some of the more mature, maybe noble, regal aspects of Bibi when compared to Nina, Nina is also amazing. Like, she's been amazing the whole time, has a great attitude for everything, and not ending up in the bottom, I think, demonstrates that.
I can agree with what you're saying, but to me, like, there's always only ever, I'm team motherfucking BB, bro.
Team
Like, there's
Bibi, yeah.
always only been one choice here. If you don't choose BB, this is going to be a real short podcast, right? We're going we're going to have to move on to some new content real quick because I will fucking boycott if we get to the end of this and we don't say BB won.
Yeah, which I think is a great segue, right? We've talked about the judges. We've talked our shit about Rebecca. We get down to the final three. The queens return to the stage where the judges will go on to deliver, their final verdicts and everything. And you mentioned this a little bit earlier when we were talking about the judges and Rebecca. These three queens come out immediately. The judges are like, Rebecca, you can go home.
Yeah. Sorry to mess up your mojo. I was so excited about this moment. I forgot about all the other shit that even went down because, oh, God, this was good.
It was hilarious. Like, no fanfare, nothing. It was just like, thanks for coming out. You can leave. You don't need to be here for the rest of this. You can just carry on. I think it's right before this that Rue makes the joke about keeping Rebecca too long and being like, where's Akasha? Let's get Akasha back on stage.
Yeah. Calling for a different, also young demographic queen, like just starting queen. Like maybe this should have been the other way around. Akasha left in like episode 3. That maybe should have been Rebecca.
Yeah, very much. Funny joke. I do think it puts a little credence, maybe unintentionally, to, your theory that Rebecca was kept because she was young and they wanted to represent that demo. For them to call Akasha, of all people, to come back, like, I think Angina and Chanel would be at the top of the list of who you'd want to return. Yep. For them to say Akasha, who was eliminated episode 3, had a pretty bad attitude, also kind of plays into that. Maybe Rebecca is only here because she is young and represents kind of a quote unquote young or new queen.
Yeah, I think that she fits that representation slot. And golly, is that sad?
Yeah, and the judges and Rue, I think, do very candidly realize that was probably a mistake for the whole season, and they attempt to pretty quickly rectify it by just, hey, Rebecca, I know we called you back out here, but we actually probably shouldn't have. Can you just go home? Please go home. Leave your badge in the green room. Thank you.
Just hands washed. Just
very much.
Get off of me. You make me feel icky.
Yeah. No fanfare, anything. Rebecca has some like closing remarks. They are forgetful. Whatever. Good job.
She said things afterwards.
Rebecca. She did. She said something. It was like a voiceover, I think, as she's like walking out. She says something about like, this was a great experience. I'm happy to have been here. Blah, 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 blah. Like,
I was probably too busy.
We don't care. Leave.
Cheering and crying and kissing my wife. I don't know. I was so happy when this happened.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, I almost went back to church straight up. Like, woof, there's a God today when Rebecca got kicked off.
Yeah, woof. It was needed. And I appreciate, I think, as a viewer, the sort of candid acceptance on screen of the judges being like, it was a mistake to keep her this long. We shouldn't have done that. It was clear favoritism. That's our bad. Let's go ahead and send her home.
And we're sitting at home saying, we knew. It's okay.
Yeah.
We know.
Yep. We
all
rid
of her. But now you got to do me double right.
It.
Now you got to do me double right. You got to make the right decision now.
Yeah. So Rebecca goes home and we are left with the final lip sync for the win between the two queens we knew it should have been the whole time, right?
The whole time.
Bibi and Nina. And this lip sync is, again, to CoverGirl, right? It's just the running theme of the whole episode.
Yeah, for the 103rd time we've listened to it this episode.
Yeah, in case you hadn't heard it in the episode yet, here it is, again, in full. CoverGirl. Yeah, and I think this was a solid lip sync. I would argue this is the best, most entertaining lip sync of any of the ones that we had seen by both performers.
It was a fucking show. It was definitely a show. This was where, when Jade and Rebecca performed in whatever episode it was, when we started realizing Rebecca was full of shit, and
Yeah,
Jade was dancing circles around Rebecca, and we were
yep,
like, whoa, there's like the queens are touching each other in the lip sync for their lives. Like this is
yeah,
weird. This is something new, but it's also like a
yeah,
kind of give and take. It's almost like a whole show. This was that, but this was an actual show, and it was
yeah.
fucking. It was cool for like a lip sync for your life moment.
Yeah, yeah, and where like Jade and Rebecca's interaction together was like a strong performer kind of interacting off of a weak performer. This was two strong performers interacting with each other, and it
Yes,
was quite entertaining. At one point, Bibi gets on the ground and like scoots in between Nina's legs, but Nina has this big like side him train thing, so she's just getting covered by this.
getting caught in the parachute, man, getting twisted up in that parachute.
Yeah, like she's caught in a net. It sounds bad, but it ended up being very funny and like I think played very well on stage. She like gets through and then has to like throw the whole thing off herself really quick.
Yeah, yeah. It
Ugh.
turned out. It turned out okay-ish, but it definitely was like a little like fish caught in the net, feeling like, oh shit,
It
oh, get the
was.
shit off me.
Yeah, maybe I didn't think this all the way through. About
Yeah,
halfway through, getting between her legs. But yeah, both remained very professional. It was very fun, and it was quite the lip sync. We don't see a ton of it in the episode, to be honest. It's cut quite a bit, which is surprising. I think maybe because they decided more time in the episode being spent demonstrating how shitty Rebecca is more entertaining, which I don't necessarily disagree. I did like how this episode ended up kind of being a let's shit on Rebecca episode.
We needed a Rebecca shitting party for sure. I put on my shitting shoes and everything. I was ready.
we were ready for this. We've been waiting. Um, Hilarious, yeah. And Rebecca, of course, this was a long time ago. I imagine you have grown into a better person, etc. Sorry that we end up shitting on you so much, but woof for your performance in this season. And like, honestly, it was a little bit deserved. I hope you learned some lessons through this and didn't just keep that to Lulu.
I just want to
It'll be
say,
interesting to see. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
I'm I'm not sorry. He can be sorry. I'm not like that. I'm not that guy. I'm not sorry. You were shitty and your performance was shitty. And you're probably never going to watch
It's
this.
true.
And that's okay. But if you are watching this,
Yeah.
I do really hope that you've grown because this version of Rebecca was shit.
Not great. Not it. It's not the one. It's
It's not the
definitely
one.
not the
It
version.
is not the
Yeah,
one. So if you're
it's
still
not the
this
one.
version, you best go back to changing because woof, boy.
Woof. Woof. Yeah. Interesting to see kind of the reunion and what the queens sort of have to say after everything's all wrapped up. Especially want to know if Chanel also feels vindicated after seeing the finale and seeing the judges kind of admit that they were playing a little bit of favorites and stuff like that. So I'm curious how much drama is going to pop up in that reunion
I'm ready for that drama. Listen, that's
between
like
these queens.
they
Yeah.
have this episode type in a bunch of shows, like 60 Days in. They've got this episode type for 90 Day Fiance. I love this
Mm-hmm.
episode type where they go back and they start to stir up drama from the past and they start yelling at each other, and the moderator can't get
Yep.
a word in because they're yelling. And then you got to go to commercial because you got to calm everybody down. Like, I hope it is a smoke show because I'm ready for the fight.
I do too. And I think there's a lot of ammo for this, right? After seeing the talking heads, after seeing some of the ways Rebecca talked about the other competitors, especially
Mm,
later in the
mm,
season,
mm,
man, I want to see that. Like,
mm.
ooh, because I just feel like Chanel's probably boiling, right?
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
feel like Chanel's just ready to explode about the whole thing. Like, how fucking dare you critique me so hard on some of the great shit I did when this idiot was out here looking like a fucking doll somebody left in a park. Like, what the
Hell yeah,
fuck?
bro. It's going to be a stomping. It's going to be a beatdown. And I can't wait. And I think even Akasha's going to jump
Yeah,
in. Akasha's going to be
I
that
hope
chick that was
so.
down the block that saw a fight happen and jumps in with a quick stomp and just keeps on going. I can't
I
wait.
hope so. Yeah. I cannot wait. But yeah, back to this episode. Let's get to the thing everybody's been waiting for, right? We have the lip sync for the win, and we come out and announce the final winner, the first ever drag superstar from Drag Race Season 1. Our winner is Bibi Zahara Benet.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Let me tell you, listen.
Yeah.
We've
If you
recorded
couldn't
my
guess.
live reaction to seeing this, and like maybe we'll put it here. I don't know. Edit that in. But listen, I wanted to like get up and dance for this episode for what happened here. I'm in my boxers. I'm not going to do that to you. But listen, bro, I'm so happy. Look, I'm going to watch season 2. I guess I'm going to watch
Yeah,
season 2. Okay. You
great.
got me into it. You picked the right person. I'm going to watch it. You talked me into it. I'm going to watch one more season, and you better do me
It's
right then,
pretty
too.
good.
But Bibi Zahara Benet, she's beauty. She is grace. She's Miss RuPaul's Drag Race. It is finally time. She made it, and she is the one. Sorry, Nina. You were great. Sorry, everyone else.
You were
You
great.
were okay-ish. Bibi was it the whole time, and I knew it.
Yeah, and it does feel really good to see the show end the way you kind of want it to.
Yes.
BB sets herself apart pretty early, and 100% agree with this decision. BB is and should be the winner of season 1, 100%. I'll say, before they announced it, it was close.
Yeah.
It seemed close in the judge's mind. They could have gone to Nina, right? I can say, as we've known, I already knew BB won this season because I'm aware of who wins like the seasons, even the ones I haven't seen. But I was surprised at how close it came down to the very end, where like it could have gone either way. Had I not known already, I definitely would have been like, this could go either way.
They definitely made it feel that way. In my mind, like there was no competition. Nina's great. She
Yeah.
has some cool looks.
Yep.
She is not as one dimensional as people maybe make her out to be. But as
Agreed.
far as a person that you want to champion, like
Your
drag in the way
brand,
that,
yeah.
in the way that RuPaul is really trying to set up this empire of professional drag queens
Yes.
that really can span as just as much as a Miss Universe, right? You want Miss Universe to be
Yep.
that perfect mix between beauty queen and like damn near politician, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what BB is.
100%. Beautiful, professional, thoughtful, considerate, genuine, noble, regal, all the words you would think of to think like who should be the winner for this, who should wear that crown and represent a whole community of very diverse people. BB is the one.
Hands
BB is the
down.
one for sure. For sure. So, needless to say, we're both pretty happy with this conclusion here. As someone, again, who already knew that BB won, I feel very proud of her performance throughout the season. I wasn't sure, right? I had no idea. Did BB deserve it? Was this like a just a pitch to her? Was everybody bad and BB was just the least bad? But no, I think she earned it and earned it well. And I can see why no one really, at least I've never heard anyone really talk shit or like have a differing opinion of who should have walked away with the victory in season 1. Because for me, just like it was for you and maybe it was for our viewers, BB was the clear winner, was the clear decision here.
Hands down. Hands down. It was never a doubt. From like, I don't know, when did I jump on that train? Like season or episode 4 or
It
some
was like
shit.
episode 4. It was pretty early.
Pretty
Yeah.
early on, I was on the BB train, and I'm still on the BB train. I'm sorry for what I said about you in episode 1. Listen, Benet, still kind of a weird like end to your name. We could just go with BB Zahara, you know,
Yeah.
but you killed it. You won me over very, very quickly, and I'm glad that you won because now, hey, I've got more content to make. I don't have to quit.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe a little bit excited for season 2 and what we see there. Yeah. It's going to be a
Yeah.
good one. I'm excited to get into future seasons. Season 2, I think, is going to be good. Season 3, I think, will be really good. I know 4 and on are very entertaining. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm still looking forward to the introduction of some of the additional segments that we didn't get, some of the additional challenges that we didn't get here in season one. Some of them lean a lot heavier into your background of like musical theater and onstage performance, where we don't get a ton of that. This is very akin to America's Next Top Model, I think, in my opinion, where there's a lot of like model fashion adjacent with some TV and stage work in this season. And I think we kind of broaden that up a little bit for the drag queens in the future season, where we get more emphasis on things like comedy, improv, your ability to act and receive direction on stage, things like that.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that when you kind of pitched this idea to me, I didn't see myself talking about clothes as much as I did this season. I've talked about
Yeah.
clothes more than I ever have in my entire life. And the things that I said about clothes in the past 6, 7 episodes are probably wholly incorrect. And that's perfectly fine.
It's a learning experience.
I am not sure if I can call myself a fan of drag yet, but I am excited to get into a place where I have more to say from an educated perspective, and get to see more of that like live skill that I have more perspective on, as well as athleticism. I think I'm looking forward to the most, honestly. Out of like all of the things I have a background in, I know that I've seen at least moments of athleticism out of like my very limited experience of drag and even gay culture, honestly. So I'll be interested to start to see some of that come out in future seasons, because listen, I can say a lot, but I guess I can't say that I don't like the show, because I'm coming back for season 2, baby. We're back. We're going to season
We're
2.
back, baby. Yes, I'm excited. I'm glad. I was hoping this season, because again, I hadn't seen it. I was hoping this season would be good enough to kind of hook you at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we get through one or two more, I think you're going to be well hooked, especially around the athleticism. I mean, we didn't see a single fucking death drop this whole season. Shooketh. So
I don't know what that is, but I can imagine it. It sounds pretty fucking athletic.
There is a lot. We get some very professional dancing queens. One of my favorite queens, one of I think the world's favorite queens, is the Alyssa Edwards, who is actually from Mesquite, by the way.
Oh, hey.
Is a dance instructor from Mesquite.
Local.
And like extremely talented dancer. So we definitely do see some more. What was the word you used before? Why am I blanking on this? Athletic. Yeah, we definitely see some more athleticism.
It's a hard one right there. 3 whole syllables
that one just left.
In that word. Yeah.
It just left. Yeah. It was here while I was preparing that sentence, and it was like, okay, bye. Clocked out early. Or showed up late. It had to go fix its wig in the bathroom. Its hairline was showing. That's what happened.
That's what it was. It is a very pretty word, so it's got to take its time.
Yeah, it's got to take. Yeah, you can never rush a pretty word.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, too funny.
Oh shit! Good riddance.
Very excited.
Rebecca Glasscock.
Very excited for the upcoming seasons and some of the stuff that we get into, but also, I think I've seen some benefits to some of the stuff I've learned. I've learned a lot more about fashion and makeup than I ever thought I would, right? But I do think it's benefited me. It's helped me with my own personal fashion, and like understanding and kind of learning how some of these fundamental things work together so I can dress myself better, which is nice. But it's also helped me connect with, my partner and the women in my life around things that I now understand are difficult and like time consuming and expensive and stuff that they go through, and they go through kind of in a bubble where they don't really interact with other men about how expensive their makeup is and like how long it took them to figure out how to do their eyebrows correctly and stuff like that. Things that I think we as men take for granted on the sheer amount of effort that women put in to look even presentable on any given day.
Yeah, I think I have not hit that realization yet, I guess. But now that you say that, I get it. And
you can see it
as well too also.
Yeah, you can see it a little bit, and it will
Definitely.
definitely grow. Yeah, it'll definitely grow as you learn more about all that kind of stuff, and we get to see more behind the scenes and what goes into all of this. But
I definitely haven't learned
um,
more about fashion. I mean, fucking look at me, bro. Like
yeah,
this is the seventh episode that we've shot. I've worn this exact shirt in fucking three of them. So
yeah,
maybe we'll get there.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
we learned this episode. I'm a slow fucking learner. So just pump the brakes. Okay. We're gonna fucking get there. I promise you.
We'll set that as a stretch goal. It'll be interesting if we make it to like season 8 or 9 to go
Yeah.
back and like see what our takes are and like how different everything is. I imagine I will continue to evolve my opinion on this stuff, even though I've seen quite a bit of this, to go back and rewatch it and continue to kind of learn. It's been fun in this format, digging in and learning more about the queens and more about the show and everything. So yeah, I've had a blast. I'm glad you enjoyed this. I'm glad you're excited for season 2. I know I am. I hope our viewers are. And yeah, I'm happy to see where this goes.
But don't forget, we still have one more episode this season where we get to dive into
We
all the
do.
drama, the cries, the smiles, the goodbyes. Come back for a final episode of season 1, RuPaul's Drag Race.
First time in drag. Now who's got a script they're not sharing? What
I
was
don't know.
that?
That was out my
Yeah,
ass.
yeah,
It felt
good
good, so
job.
I said it.
It was great. It was great. All right. Yeah. Next episode, final episode of season 1, first time in drag, season 1, RuPaul's Drag Race. We'll be back for a reunion. We want to see how these queens go, and both of us are hoping for some fireworks. So I hope it doesn't disappoint.
Yep, ready for that drama.
All right. Thanks, everyone. As always, like, subscribe, click the little bell, whatever platform you're on, follow us, whatever you need to do. We appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you again on our final episode,
Bye bye.
first time in drag. Bye.